Mr. Speaker, today we are going to talk about Medicare for all, the importance of making sure that every American, regardless of income, can get the health care that they need. That will be our topic over the course of the next hour. And so I'd like to invite to the podium to kick off our discussion a gentleman from California, Mr. Ro Khanna, distinguished gentleman from the great state of California who has been a leader on economic justice and justice in general. I yield to the gentleman.
Thank you. I thank the distinguished gentleman from Minnesota for his leadership on so many issues, and particularly on health care and the fight for Medicare for all. I rise today to share a heartbreaking story so we understand what's at stake in this fight. Sarah Faye Broughton was a young woman in San Jose, California. She was going to work with special needs kids. At the age of 20, she came down with a simple sinus infection. Such a condition is usually managed by a primary care physician and an ordinary specialist. However, Sarah did not receive treatment because she could not afford health insurance. 6 months before she fell ill, Sarah applied for Medi-Cal, California's Medicaid system, but her paperwork kept getting lost. The county was so overwhelmed that her family went through 3 different caseworkers trying to get medical coverage, but each time they were told to start over. Like more than 28 million Americans without any health care, for Sarah, getting sick meant facing crippling medical bills and harassment by debt collectors. So she ignored the pain, only going to the emergency room when it became too much to bear. By that point, the simple sinus infection had grown powerful, spreading to her brain, swelling it, and causing irreversible damage. It was simply too late. On the day Sarah passed away, her family received a letter saying that her Medicaid coverage had been approved. She was doing everything right, but the system failed her. Her life was cut short because the wealthiest country in the world has not yet prioritized health care. The question is, should a young woman who's 20 years old die of a simple sinus infection in the United States of America? If we care about the lives of people like Sarah, if we believe that health care is a basic right, then it's long past time to have Medicare for all. Every American should be guaranteed decent, basic health care from the day they're born. This is not a political issue. This is a moral issue. It's an issue of human decency. It's an issue to make sure we don't have people who have simple conditions like Sarah be denied the care they deserve. That's why I am so proud of my colleague, Keith Ellison, for leading the call for Medicare for all. I'm proud to serve on the task force and encourage my colleagues to join him and Peter Welch and other voices in bringing to this country Medicare for all. I yield back my time.
Well, I want to thank the gentleman again. You know, look, we can talk about statistics. We can talk about the way the program's going to work. We can talk about all these things, but there's nothing that can replace the life of the precious young woman that you talked about. She had people who loved her. She had people who knew her. She had everything to look forward to. She just needed her society, her community, to step forward for her and to help her. And because we don't have the kind of health care system we could have, we weren't there for her. But in her memory, we have to be able to make it right for the young people and the people who are still with us. In her memory, we will fight for Medicare for all. I thank the gentleman. You want any final comments you want to make?
I appreciate your saying that. And I had a conversation with her mother and with the community, and it's just, people just feel what a tragic loss. And so if there are things we can do here under your leadership and as elected representatives, I hope we will, and will take seriously the consequence of the failure in our health care policy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.